Yo, 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 what's up, everybody? It's your boy Isaac.
And this is your boy Bryce.
And we are brothers on tennis. And folks, we have come to that point in the season where the red dirt is upon us. Bryce, it's clay court season. We on the true red stuff, the slippery stuff. A lot of great tennis that we have been seeing, sir. Talk to us, man. What have been your thoughts thus far heading into red clay court season?
Well, my heart, my mind, and my soul has been with Nadal, right? I was hoping that Nadal would be showing us, reminding us who he is, and really ramping up strong to Roland Garros. And clearly, I'm not as confident right now about what's going to happen with Nadal.
Yeah.
But, I'm not even sure now if 2024 is going to be his last year.
Exactly. Yes.
So if that's not going to be the case, then, maybe it's not so crucial what happens this year or not. He just needs to focus in on getting healthy. But on the men's side, yeah, my heart was with Nadal, but, we've got Sinner out here now doing big things. Medvedev is playing better on the clay, so we'll see what happens there. Djokovic has been a little incognito, so we don't really know what's going on there. Alcaraz has had some injuries, so there are a lot of question marks on the men's side going into this clay court season. And then, on the women's side, it's a four-woman show, like we've always said. Rybakina, Sabalenka, Coco Gauff, Swiatek. So
yes.
My thoughts are nothing really changes in the big tournaments in terms of the ultimate winner is one of those four. Right. And I think it's going to be one of those four that wins Roland Garros also. But it'll be fun to watch the ride.
I think it will be fun to watch the ride. It's always nice to watch the tennis or the lead ups to really fully kind of grasp who's hot, who's feeling themselves, who's not comfortable on a certain surface.
Right.
And I think that we're definitely beginning to see a lot of that. We had, 5 tournaments this past week. We had 2 on the women's side, 3 on the men's side. And I mean, just a lot of really, really great tennis, Bryce. Bryce, which side do you want to start with? You want to start with the ATP side, or you want to start on the women's side?
Let's go with the women.
All right. We had 2 tournaments. We'll start with the lesser because that way we get to talk about our sister Sloane Stephens. Went to Rouen, and something that she hadn't done in the past. She kind of changed up her schedule and decided, I'm going to get over to the European clay early. She had just played the tournament, of course, in Charleston. Did not win singles, but partnered with Ashlyn Kruger to win the doubles title. Had never won a doubles title before. So the fact that she was able to do that had to have made her feel good. And apparently it did, Bryce, because she went over in Rouen and was like, you know what? I'm feeling real good about my game right now. Right?
Right. Absolutely. I mean, with Sloane, still nothing has changed, right? It's never been a question about her talent.
Right.
It's never been a question about what she can do on the court. It's all these other things. We saw that there was the whole coaching carousel is in full effect again. I guess that means Kamal Murray is out, and I don't know whether she gave him the boot or he bailed. Darian King is back in the mix, who we absolutely love. So don't know what's going on there. I don't know if Sloane is starting to feel a little long in the tooth and is feeling like she needs to take advantage of some opportunities before, her day is over. But, I wish her well, but like something you said earlier, I could never put any money behind her because I never know when the motivation is there or not, to be honest.
Well, I tell you what, Bryce, it seems like at least right now and in this season, the motivation is there, which is going to make, and I keep coming back to this, the Olympics and the selections. It is going to be very interesting to see who actually makes the team because you only got 4 spots, and we already know Coco Gauff, Jess Pegula, they got their spots. So you've got two
Right.
more for singles. And, you know, again, we were thinking that it would be Emma Navarro. And I guess in my mind, I was thinking it was going to be Madison Keys. But then Danielle Collins showed up, and she's like, showed up and showed out. And she's the hot woman on the WTA tour at this point.
Right.
And so now she done inserted herself in that discussion to say, hey, wait a minute, I think I might want one of those positions.
Right.
And now you got Sloane coming to her favorite surface, as she has specified, winning a tournament last week. And she's looking like she's in form, Bryce. I tell you what, this is going to be a really, really interesting lead up into the Olympics to see who exactly is going to make the cut. And do you know, Bryce, when is that cutoff, by the way? Do you know when, at what point in time they, you know, that rankings are locked and when those top four are revealed? I don't know that, though.
I don't know the exact date, but it feels like it's always after the Italian.
Okay. Okay.
You know,
so
it feels like the Italian is the last big one where we kind of know where everybody is at. Well, wait a minute. You're talking about the Olympics, right?
Yeah, I'm talking about for the Olympics.
I'm sorry. I'm thinking Roland Garros.
Roland Garros. Yeah. No, exactly.
No, I don't know for the Olympics. That's a good question. Because, you know, it's very close right now. And I always forget. So it's 4 that makes the team.
It's 4 singles. You can have 4 singles,
but then
players.
You can have 2 more with doubles, right?
Correct. And I'm pretty certain Taylor Townsend is going to be one of the doubles players for sure. So I think one of those spots are already taken. And I would imagine like Krajicek, or I forget what the other U.S. lady's name is, but she's pretty high ranked. So she probably has that other double spot. Krajicek, I think is her name. Anyway.
I know
Danielle.
about.
You know
Danielle,
who I'm talking about. Yeah. So I think that she probably is the one. Desiree, not Danielle. Desiree Crafton. Thank you, Bryce. There you go.
See, this is how we do on this. This is how we do on this show. We'll get the name at some point, right?
Exactly. You know, we you know who we're talking about. But yeah, I figure those 2 spots are likely going to be locked up by those 2 women. So really and truly, it is those 4 single spots that are really going to be up to question. And like I said, with Sloane again playing like she's got some really good intent and some good energy, it's going to make this very, very interesting. So with that said, we'll cover that. We'll continue to cover that as we progress towards the Olympics. But Bryce, kudos to Sloane Stephens for picking up a title, man. Good for her. Glad for Darian. Glad for the Cam.
Right. No, that was amazing.
Yes. And so then we've got the Porsche tournament, and I believe that was Stuttgart. And you know, how about Rybakina, man? Rybakina is like, listen, y'all, do not question. I got skills. And she got up in there and she was like, I ain't scared of none of y'all. And what really shocked me, Bryce, was again the match that she played against Iga. I mean, Iga is the one. I mean, when you think of who is the one on clay that you're just always going to have to deal with, and the biggest overall pick for Roland Garros, in my opinion, it's Iga Swiatek. So for Rybakina to be able to take her out, I believe it was the semifinals, then get into the finals against Kostiuk, who had a tremendous tournament herself, mind you, from Ukraine. Go Ukraine! I mean, bruh, that was a really great final. But kudos to Rybakina for that run.
All I knew was after Rybakina beat Iga, Kostiuk ain't had no chance. Rybakina was not about to get up in no final and lose to Kostiuk. That was not about to happen. Shout out to Kostiuk and all that you do for you and yours, but no.
He said, simply put, no.
No. So
but Kostiuk, kudos to her though. She took out Coco Gauff.
She did.
And she took out what was it? Vondrousova, which, you know, but again, Vondrousova is the reigning Wimbledon champion. So for her to go through two Grand Slam champions back to back to make it to the final, that was very impressive. And she beat Queenie, Zhang Qinwen, beat her in I believe it was the 4th round. So she really had a good run to the finals. But simply put, Rybakina was not having any of it. She was like, I just be Iga, right? Ain't nobody trying to play with you.
Right. And I'm trying to, and let's talk about Rybakina for a second, because I remember being in the press room at the U.S. Open after she had won Wimbledon.
Yeah.
And she stated that it was kind of depressing for her because she felt like almost she hadn't won Wimbledon by, not getting the points for it. Yeah, she got the coins, and she's going to be in the record books. But she didn't, and we know nobody got points. But when you win the title, I mean, that's 2,000 points that you really deserved. So I kind of feel like she went through, believe it or not, you wouldn't think this, but after winning Wimbledon, she went through a mini slump.
Yeah. I would agree with that.
I think she was in her feelings a bit about it. And I think she's kind of just now really coming out of that and is ready to challenge for, the number one ranking.
That's what we were talking about before we started recording. I absolutely believe that Rybakina is coming for that crown. She's coming for that number one ranking. And if she has a really good, solid clay court season, I honestly feel like she will get it. I really, truly believe she will get to number one in the world because, again, we know how she is on hard courts. We know since she won Wimbledon, she is very proficient on grass.
Right.
She, I feel like, is the one to watch out for 2024. But again, you always got to go through Iga. Iga. And again, this win, in my opinion, was the beginning of that for her, is getting past Iga to get this title.
And I like that the big four, we know that they can't meet until the semifinals.
Right.
So I can almost immediately tell you who my predictions are for the semifinals of Roland Garros, even before the draw comes out.
Right. Yep.
And so here's a question for you, since we're just here talking. If there were to be one of those four not to make it to the semis, and I know we don't have the draw in front of us.
Yeah.
Who would that be for you?
If we are going based on form right now, and that I hate to say this, but it would be Coco. It would be Coco Gauff is not in her top form right now. She's not in top flight right now. That match that she lost to Kostyuk, again, there were double faults. There were areas where she wasn't able to capitalize because she wasn't able to trust in her tennis. And that is where it's truly unfortunate, because when you're talking about Swiatek, you're talking about Rybakina, you're talking about Sabalenka, their games are 100%. I feel like it's about executing for them and putting patterns together that they like in order to be able to win. With Coco, there is just a glaring issue that is happening with her, and she's not able to execute her game because of it. She's athletic and she uses her athleticism to get her wins, but at a certain point, it begins to wear on you. And I am seeing a little smidgen, because Coco's not a negative young lady at all.
Right.
But you are beginning to see little points where she is very frustrated because she can't execute what is in her head because her shots are not doing what she needs them to do. What's your opinion, bro?
Well, I don't disagree with what you said, but I will tell you this. Since the news came out that she has the inside track to potentially take over number 2 this week from Sabalenka, that could be the shot in the arm she needs going into to Roland Garros. If she takes over number 2 and goes in as the number 2 seed, that she might have a little additional confidence there that might help her out a bit.
Right. And I'm still holding true to what I actually said. Gosh, I think it was maybe our pre-show for 2024. Right. I actually expect Coco to do something pretty amazing at Wimbledon. I do.
Okay.
I really do.
Okay.
I think Clay, because again, with everything that's going on, I just don't know that she's going to be my pick as far as to win that title. But for whatever reason, my gut is saying there may be some coins to put on Coco at Wimbledon.
Okay. Well, we will be watching for sure.
Yes. All right, brother. So we've handled up on the women's side for last week. And also, I know we didn't get a chance to address Monte Carlo. But kudos to that was
Tsitsipas.
Yes, it was Tsitsipas, and who won on the women's side? It was Iga, wasn't it?
Yes, I believe.
Okay, there you go. So kudos to them. Just really quick, wanted to make sure we give them some acknowledgement. So then jumping on the men's side, Bryce, we had 3 tournaments this week. I guess the one tournament that they had in Germany that was pretty much owned by Holger Rune, because he had won it the last 2 times and was going for a three-peat. He ended up getting stolen by the eventual champion, Jan-Lennard Struff.
Right.
Bryce, I think he got beat like love in 2
in
the semifinals.
Yeah. He was in the bakery.
Beat down, dude.
He was in the bakery.
He was in the bakery.
Yeah.
But with that said, Struff, who amazingly had never won on the ATP tour before this week, played against Taylor Fritz in the final, and we got to give a mad shout out to Taylor Fritz and his team.
Right,
great job, red clay. We know there's really the American men, red clay ain't our jam, but for Taylor to go over early to get in that tournament and make his way to the finals, I feel like that was an incredible effort. It really was a great effort.
It was a smart move because Taylor had taken a couple of early losses. The last couple of weeks, and so get on over there, start hitting some balls, getting some more confidence, get the ball rolling going into Roland Garros. So smart move on what he did, and it paid off.
And it paid off. Yes, it did. So he made it to the final. Again, he just came against a red-hot Jan-Lennard Struff. And Struff was like, oh, wait a minute. I can use exactly what I did against Holger Rune against you. And that is just hit straight-up power. He was hitting shots that were just simply ridiculous, Bryce. I mean, you were seeing winners, and it was like, and Taylor is not a small kid. Taylor's a big boy who hits a big ball. So for him to be made to look like his shots were just quote unquote basic, that takes a major effort. So Jan-Lennard Struff, man, kudos to you. We have always been a fan. Just a very humble young man. Again, the fact that he hadn't won on the ATP level, a title is amazing to me.
Right.
So, man, kudos for getting your first title in your home country, in Germany.
Right.
How awesome is that, man?
No, that was a really good result for him. Yeah,
absolutely. And so then we talked about the shout out we gave to Tsitsipas. So in Barcelona, we end up basically getting that same exact final that we had in Monte Carlo, which was Tsitsipas versus Ruud. And Tsitsipas ended up getting the better of Ruud on that particular day. Well, Bryce, I think Casper was like, we're not going to repeat this same script.
Right. No, I mean, Casper Ruud was like, I've made it to 2 Roland Garros finals. And, I can play on this stuff. And he played well. He played really well. It's a shame because I really don't know. I just, when it comes down to it, I don't see Casper winning Roland Garros. I see him getting deep. But by the same token, I don't see Tsitsipas winning it either. So,
what's interesting, Bryce? I'm gonna just throw this out here because we had talked about this a while ago, and I made we talked about those 2 in particular, in that have they missed their window, and what do we think about them? I guess with Casper, I always feel as though Casper's that person that kind of a little bit like I don't know what we would call a Jess Pegula, in the sense that I feel like he has overachieved as far as what I would have expected from him. The fact that he was number 2 in the world, he's been to Grand Slam finals, at the U.S. Open, at the French Open. But for whatever reason, I always just kind of mentally am like, I feel as though Casper is overachieving as it relates to his capabilities. But on the flip side of that, I feel like with Tsitsipas, I feel like he may be underachieving, because I feel like he's got all of the shots necessary to be a Grand Slam champion. It's whether or not he can put it together up here against the competition. And I'm not sure that I'm ready to write them off. As I kind of mentioned before, I'm going to be real honest with you. I think if certain things work out in a certain way, I honestly could see either one of them holding up the Roland Garros title. The only caveat that I would see, because, and here's my thinking behind this. Okay, I'm just going to run down the list. You've got Alcaraz, who right now, we saw him. He had an injured hand. So we don't know how he's going to come up on this season. We know with Sinner, he's a champion, of course, but clay is not his best surface. It's probably his worst of the surfaces. You've got Nadal. We don't know where he's at right now. I mean, he's even gotten out there and said, I feel okay for best 2 out of 3, but if I were having to play a best 3 out of 5, I wouldn't play, which was crazy. So you've got Nadal. We haven't seen Djokovic, and he's taken some L's of late. So it's like, is there, Daniil, of course, has improved greatly on clay, but is his comfort level there to be able to win a slam? So now I'm thinking about all these things, and I'm thinking about a Tsitsipas and a Casper Ruud, and I'm like, maybe they haven't missed their window, and maybe this this year might be that opportunity if the stars align and the way that the players are going. What I'm saying, I guess, is I will not drop any of my good coin on either one of them. But at the same time, Bryce, I would not be surprised if we didn't see one of them in the Roland Garros final. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, you know what, for me, in terms of them winning, I would say this. It is possible. I just don't think it's probable. I think decisions that you see some of these other guys making, Sinner, Alcaraz, if all these decisions are in preparation of them being right for that tournament. And so, yeah, y'all can come and y'all can win these and have these, and it's all good. But I feel when it's time for Roland Garros, the usual suspects will all be back.
That's a very, very, very important point. That is a very strong point. I did not think about that, and that's true. Yeah.
But again, to your point, and as we know in this sport, everything is truly about the draw.
Yes.
So who meets who gets upset, and I kind of have you have that top tier of people that you think can win. I think for me, Tsitsipas and Casper Ruud are in that second tier.
Correct. Yep.
And I think if there's disruption in that top tier, and we go to that second tier, that's when it's a possibility for them.
I 100% agree with that. 100% agree, bro. Yeah. But it's so interesting though, man. I'm really excited about this upcoming Roland Garros. I think a lot is going to come out of this tournament this week at Madrid. The Italian, of course, will be big because it plays a lot more like Roland Garros than Madrid does. But still, I still think that these are critical warm-ups as it relates to who is really going to be in form and ready to take on the challenge of winning Roland Garros. Because that's it. To me, it means a lot, because to me, that also means who then is going to be the favorite going into the Olympics.
Right. Yes. And for those that don't know, with the Olympics being in Paris, the tennis portion is going to be played at Roland Garros. So it almost makes Roland Garros like a preamble to the Olympics, right?
Exactly, man. Exactly. So so just really, really excited about just all of the upcoming matches and matchups and storylines. And I know that, Bryce, there was a list that we were talking about of different storylines, just lots of things. So maybe the third tournament, by the way, I'm drawing a blank because I don't have my laptop in front of me. What was the third tournament of the men? Yeah, I'm drawing a blank. So we'll get to some of the other items, and we'll come back to that one. But we had talked about Nadal, Bryce. Give me your thoughts on just kind of what you're seeing from him and kind of where he's at, kind of physically, and what he's basically announced.
Well, I will tell you this from a playing perspective. What I've seen, he has not played poorly.
Correct.
He's looked good to me, actually, but I'm not privy to what physically is going on with him. So that's an unknown, and sometimes I wonder if what he's saying is it true, or is he just trying to manage expectations?
And we know Nadal is like that. He never
right.
wants to come out and be boastful or anything. So he's always just like,
Yeah.
pump the brakes. But at the same time, based on what I saw in the matches that we saw him playing, Nadal looked good to me. I mean,
He
he
looked
really
good
did.
to me. Yeah.
He looked good. I mean, he took out the one kid, and then he played against De Minaur, who De Minaur is a top 10 player. So you would have
And
expected.
he played well too
And
that
he
day.
played exactly. So for me, I feel like he's right where he should be. So I'm hoping.
Can I throw something else out?
Yeah, for sure.
I'm not completely certain that Nadal doesn't win that De Minaur match in best of 5.
Correct. Absolutely. Yeah, it's because again, it's shot selection. It's that Nadal spin that just continues to beat you down. And so I am 100% there with you, bro. So I again don't know what's going on as far as he he knows his body, of course. But if you go based on just play and just overall look, Nadal looks good, y'all. He looked good.
To me, he does.
So
but you were talking about some of these other topics.
Yeah.
So we did, speaking of French Open champions or Roland Garros champions, sorry before the haters come for me, Muguruza announced her retirement. And I saw some footage of her. I guess she was on a court recently, playing a little bit. And I was like, yeah, she looked like a club player now. So that retirement announcement came out soon thereafter. So life must be good for her.
Exactly.
But let's shout her out real quick. I mean, if you're going to only have 2 major titles, but you got one of them over Serena and the other one over Venus,
no one else has that resume. I'm just saying. You got 2 Grand Slams and you won them against the two great legends of the sport. Yeah, you did your thing. Garbina Muguruza was an incredible, talented player. Right. I mean, she was awesome. I mean, just had great power. All aspects of her game were just clean. I felt she was just always great and competitive when she was out on the court. I was a fan. I really was a fan, and seeing her retire, as long as she's happy, and this is been her choice. I'm just really happy that I got to enjoy her tennis. I wasn't necessarily happy when she took out Venus and Serena, but still, you gotta give credit where credit is due. She did the thing and really made an impact on the tour.
She was like the female version of Wawrinka.
Exactly. She was like, she had to insert herself and let me get a couple. Let me get mine,
And he got his over big 3 people.
Exactly.
Not Federer, but
no, it was never gonna be against Federer.
But Nadal and Djokovic. And so there was a connection there. Well, actually, there was a connection between Muguruza and Stan, but we'll leave that alone. So the next one we got is our girl, 513 connection, Peyton Stearns.
Yes.
We've been loving the relationship she's had with Eric Heckman, one of our favorite coaches on the tour.
Yes.
But is there a coaching change out there? Because now Tom Hill, since he got the boot from
Maria Sakkari,
he's showing up in Peyton's camp.
Yeah.
And it sounds like he is going to be the coach there for a trial basis. So not sure if Eric, we know family is very important to Eric, and I don't know.
Got young kids. He's got a young family.
But we need to hear more information on this because Peyton is definitely on the come up.
Yes, she is. She is definitely one of the stars of USA Tennis. 513, of course. We love our Cincinnati connection. Yeah. So, it was very interesting when, I looked over in the box and I was just like, I like Tom Hill. Why is Tom Hill in Peyton's box? Where's Eric? Eric, where you at? So, Eric, you need to give us a shout out and tell us what the heck's going on.
Exactly. Exactly.
But with all honesty, though, we got love for all of them. I mean, Eric
Right.
isn't from again one of our favorite coaches. Peyton is someone we absolutely adore and will continue to follow. So if they chose to, go separate paths, then so be it. We will continue to support them in all of
Right.
their efforts.
Absolutely. Speaking of efforts, we got to ring that bell for Iga.
All right.
She just celebrated her 100th week at number one. And to be honest with you, people, for the haters that were out there, because we know that they're there, who were like, oh, because Ash left, that's the only reason why she got number one. Look, minus those 8 weeks that Sabalenka was number one, like when she literally had it for a minute, Iga has held that title and held it strong.
Held it strong. Exactly, Bryce. She held it strong. She's like, you ain't don't come after the crown because it's mine.
Right. Right.
And she has held it and done, she's played amazing tennis to be number one in the world. So she deserves it. And so kudos to her for hitting that is an incredible mark. 100 weeks at number one. And she's not old, y'all. I mean, Iga's what, like 22, 23, maybe? So it ain't like she ain't got a lot of time left where she can start stacking, those weeks.
Right.
Again, I do feel like she will be contending a little bit more in the future with, again, your Rybakina, your Sabalenka, with the Coco Gauff once, we get those little issues taken care of. But I definitely see her staying. If so long as she's injury free, I see her staying at that number one, or maybe a couple little handoffs here and there. But I still see her being right in that conversation for a very long time.
And for perspective, our girl Venus, she was number one for what, 11 weeks?
11 weeks. 11.
So celebrate that 100. That's an accomplishment.
That is,
right.
Exactly. 100 is, Bryce, it's crazy. It really is that someone that young could already hit 100 weeks at being number one. So It's legit. Iga is legit. And like you said, they got haters out there, but you can't hate on her. She's doing her thing. Don't be mad at that.
Yeah, don't be mad at her because she know how to win. You need to go talk to your favorites and ask them what they doing wrong.
What they doing wrong, exactly.
Right, exactly. Hating on the ego. Shoot. Anyway, let me keep it moving. Now, talking about the tennis for this week, we saw in the ladies' draws that, and I don't know if this is the first time pairing. I can't remember if they played together before, but Coco and Taylor Townsend.
Right? Why? When I saw the draw, I was like, I kind of like that. I really, really, really like that. Because again, Taylor Townsend, she know what she's doing on the doubles court. Let us be clear. Taylor Townsend knows what she's doing. She may not be at number one yet in doubles, but I honestly can see her being number one. Well, she's gonna have to deal with Chase Sweat. But anyway. That's it. Pop the collar. That's all I'm saying. But honestly, is just really doing a lot of great things in tennis. So she's playing great doubles. Actually, her singles has even gotten really nice as well. It has improved, and she's loving the clay. Clay is her surface. She's mentioned that. So the fact that Taylor and Coco are playing doubles this week, Bryce. Again, I won't start no drama, but it made me smile. It made me smile. I'm very curious to see how they do in this tournament, because if they win this tournament, and we already know Coco got her spot on the Olympics, Taylor got her spot on the Olympic team. So does that put our Coco Pegula combo? Does it put that at risk?
Well, and like I told you before we started recording, I think what's going to be the telltale sign is going to be, who does Coco play with at Roland Garros?
Yes. Yep.
If she's back with Jessica, and we know Jessica's not playing this week, so
exactly.
There's a reason. It makes sense, right?
Exactly.
But If she plays with Jessica, then everything's kind of back to normal or
Yep.
whatever.
Right.
But if she's playing with Taylor and Roland Garros, you know, Jessica may want to go look at some Katie McNally footage and see how that thing played out. I'm just saying, you know.
And that's why I really love that combo, Bryce, is because again, Taylor has the mindset of a doubles specialist, even though, like I said,
Right.
she does well in singles, but she knows the doubles court. With Coco and Pegula, I always feel like they are great singles players that play great doubles together. When you have that combination of a great singles player playing with a double specialist that knows how to really truly play the court and the angles that Taylor can create and come up with, I just like that Taylor Coco combination, Bryce. I'm so anxious to see what this week is going to look like. I really am.
Yeah, me too. I'll be very excited. So I'm hoping that they win.
Yes.
This week. Now, if they get stole on, it might be short and done real quick, you know.
Right.
And speaking of stole on,
all right.
And I hate this because, you know, I'm trying to highlight our peoples, but did you see the result on our girl Alicia Parks in the quali tournament?
I did not. What happened?
It was 2 breadsticks.
Ooh.
In qualies.
Here's what I'll say. I'll say. We know that she's now with Sasha. I think it's going to take a minute for that whole coaching dynamic to work itself out. For me, clay immediately in my mind is the worst surface for Alicia Parks.
Yeah.
Because Alicia is a big hitter. She's got big serve, big ground stroke. She just hits the ball big. That's not going to translate well to clay. You've got to have patience. You've got to be able to really have, you know, create your, you know, point structure and things like that. I don't think Alicia's all about that. I think Alicia's about hitting the ball, hitting it big, and getting winners. That to me will I think show itself when she hits grass. Definitely when we get back on the hard courts. But for me, Bryce, it is very. I'm just going to put out there. It is very disappointing when you see someone of her talent level losing in qualies with 2 breadsticks. That is very concerning, even with a new coaching partnership. You shouldn't be going out 1-1. But at the same time, I'm not necessarily like, oh, you know, sound the horns, blah, blah, blah. I just feel like they've got work that they need to do. They need to get back to a surface that they are, you know, confident, that she's confident in. And I think that we'll see better results. So with that being said, it is surprising, it's shocking actually, but I'm not concerned. What were your feelings?
My feelings were like, damn. I mean, those are my feelings. You know, because it's like what you said. It can be, you know, clay is Daniil's, Medvedev's worst surface, right?
Right.
But and he may lose, but and I guess I think about Alicia with her serve.
Right.
You know, and granted, she could have had an off day, whatever. I was just surprised when I looked at the scores and I saw that. So hopefully, you know, she, you know, has a better result in these upcoming tournaments and she's better, you know, positioned going into Roland Garros.
Absolutely. Because, we like Alicia. We like the family, Mike.
Yeah.
You know, all the peeps are good. So we want the best for her and her team. That's for sure.
Right. I think that's all I had on my list for kind of news stories this week in tennis. Did you have anything else?
No, not really. I mean, again, you know, I'm anxious to see what Carlitos is going to look like, you know, after he, you know, was, you know, had to pull out of Monte Carlo and Barcelona. Because again, you know, those are, I mean, Monte Carlo isn't, but Barcelona is a home tournament. So you would, you know, it's concerning when you have to pull out your own home tournament. And it was a 500. So I guess that's the other really newsworthy thing is I know we gave kudos to Casper, but strangely enough, that was Casper's first 500 level win. All of his tournaments and I don't know how many he has, maybe 5, but all of his tournaments were at the 250 level. So the fact that he got a 500 under his belt, kudos to him for that. That's good progression. That's kind of like how Rublev was at the 500 level. He finally got him in the 1,000. Now Newcastle to aspire to getting him a Master Series. But with that said, yeah, no, I can't think of anything else. We've talked Nadal. You know, is Djokovic in this draw?
No, he pulled out.
That's right, he pulled out. So again, that's what I'm saying, Bryce. I'm very curious to see how all these top guys are going to be looking going into Roland Garros, because there just seems to be something with each and every one of them, except for Sinner. But again, Sinner is just not his favorite surface. But who knows? Sinner might get up in there and still on everybody and be like, I got me a Roland Garros. I'm working for a Grand Slam.
Exactly. So,
no, bro. No more. Nothing else from my end. Anything additional from you, my man?
No. Other than maybe we should make the announcement that, you know, we're kind of having a bit of a schedule change. For those of you that are used to us recording these podcast episodes on Mondays and then following it up with the IG Live on Monday nights, we're having to move to Tuesdays. So starting next week, we will be recording our podcast episode on Tuesday and then following it same times at IG Live afterwards, which is 7:00 p.m.
Tends to be 7 Pacific.
Yeah, 10 Eastern. So just wanted everybody to be aware of the schedule change, so you don't look for us on Monday. Look for us on Tuesday.
There you go. No, it all works out, folks. And hopefully you can, again, make the switch with us. And you know how we do. We always try and have fun. So come and join in, especially on our IGs.
Absolutely. So we're going to go ahead and get out of here. But watch this great tennis this week that we have in where we're at.
We are at we're at Madrid.
Madrid. Yes. I was about to say Barcelona, and I was like, nope, that's the wrong Spain city, right?
Yeah, it was last week.
Right.
Yes.
And check out Madrid. You know, let's throw up some prayers for Nadal that he's good. And we should have some really good tennis to watch this week. So
absolutely.
On behalf of the podcast, this has been your boy Bryce.
And this is your boy Isaac.
And we are Brothers on Tennis. Everyone have a wonderful week.